Hello, 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 people of the internet. Greetings. Welcome to our second session. This is Chaotic Fridays and Murky Days in Duskwall, our long form attempt at a Blades in the Dark campaign. Last we left off, the Whaled had begun investigations into some of the rumors that they had heard, and a couple of them had went out and acquired more information. But others are yet to do this. So we shall dive back into the low-lying clouds of mist and fog and smog that cloak the low level buildings of the hulking edifice that is the Victorian Goth monolith that is Duskwall. Various corners, the sparklight lanterns flicker, the only light in a world of endless night. And things are a little dank, and there's almost always the hint of a scream or a somewhere deeper in the mists. But we, of the people at the table currently, we had a couple who had gotten some information, right? Could we go over a quick reminder to the others at the table and the GM themselves? Like, what was the information that you guys had acquired, the two of you who had gone out to do this?
It was you and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think Embardo Lizardden went to look for the Leviathan hunters, saw them kind of lazing around, and then desperately decided to get more information by hearing a conversation in the office saying that there's a stockpile somewhere.
Mm-hmm. 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 Um, yeah, that is what Embardo Lizardin had done. What about Lorline Mordod? You'd met
Uh,
with a friend of yours.
yes, I met with a friend and I found out roughly the same things on the level of the shortage and trying to find a way into where it's being stored. And also, I'm trying to make sure that the more needy will get access to the energy should it become available.
And if I remember correctly, I think Valaris did say that there's most probably going to be a lot of cuts in the poorer
Yes.
tracts, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Alfred, sorry, go ahead.
And I owe a favor.
And yes, you do over favor. Yeah. Alfred, on how would you go about acquiring information? Is there anything else that you'd be kind of looking into, or like, would you be kind of trying to laser focus on what has been established?
I was gonna go last time to the tavern that I have a friend at, and just kind of hang out and listen to like the word in the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is this is Clyda. Oh, yeah. Okay. Um, the fair enough. Clyda is so this has been kind of established because Clyda is also a contact of somebody else who might be playing this game. and who might have contact as Clyda. So the Clyda was established to be the owner of a bar in um, Crow's Foot, and it is called the Last Drop, and that is where you would find Clyda, the tavern owner. Um, yeah. So would you want to head out to the Last Drop to uh, talk to your friend and contact and see what could be happening?
Yeah.
All right. Easy enough for you to make the transition to Crow's Foot. Given that you are going from the night market, it's not too much more difference in layout. It's a little more cramped. It's a little more sooty and dirty. You see in a few places here, it's not even sparklight lanterns. It is old gas lamp lanterns that are there, like, in some of the deeper parts. Imagine if you would like parts Kowloon walled city, like level of close knit walls and houses in this area, off the main roads especially. But you make your way. The Last Drop is a relatively medium-sized two-story building. It stands at a corner of a block, um, and outside you see from it coming, like, music, laughs, cheers, curses, occasional punches thrown, and furniture breaking. This is it's a rowdy night at the Last Drop, as usual. And as usual, you see standing outside the entrance is a large gentleman, Tychrosi. He stands around 7'2", quite large, and his horns uh, are just go tapering straight up, like, and he stands, and you recognize this as Olaf.
Yeah, I think I would walk up, and I think somewhere in there I've changed my attire to dress down a little bit to fit in more here, and not wear all my jewelry and adornments. uh, and I just walk up and hey, I'm here to see Kyra.
Hmm. Mistress was wondering if she would see you soon. Go on.
And yeah, I would just walk in and head up to the front.
Easy enough. You do see the bar of the Last Drop busy, and a couple of servers attending, and just kind of lounging against the back wall, lighting a long cigarette in a cigarette holder is this middle-aged woman, black hair that is graying, tied up into a tight bun, quite matronly apparel with an apron, nightdress, the leather apron that is kind of tied over a server's apron. And she sees you and clocks you. Uh, ha! It's been a while, hasn't it?
Busy, always.
Busy is
How are
as
you?
busy does. I've been all right, my dear. Life is curious, and it keeps me interested. That is the least that could be said of any good day, is it not?
Very true.
How may I be of assistance then, my dear? I know you don't generally pop down just for a conversation, even though I say I am in lack of such all the time.
Uh, I just wanted to understand the goings on And if you've heard anything in and out of here, it's rare that I get to come down and do stuff. So
That is true. It is not often that I see you down here. But regardless, join me for a drink. We shall have a tete-a-tete and have us an good old chin bag. Let's see what we will stumble across. And she would kind of pull out a bottle of more finer liquor. Clearly, it's from the top shelf, from the back kind of bottle. And she pours it out, and it glistens in the square-cut glass of deep bottom. Sláinte, and she raises the glass to you.
do the same.
Well, there's been rumors of a certain group that seems to be chosen to be active in your area, from what I've heard. I thought you'd want to know, given that these things often end in bloodshed, perhaps, but it's always good to know if you'll be aware of your competition.
Yes.
The Duskwall Sparrows. It's a group that seems to be operating out of the night market. I'm not entirely sure where their lair is, but people are looking, as they are becoming aware of the promise and potential of your little endeavor as well. Recently embarked on one yourself, have you?
Yes, a means to an end.
Would Clyra? What kind of friend would Clyra have been to Andrew? To her. What would Alfred think of Clyra as a person? Like, what would be the level of connection, do you think?
I think it is more of a scenario of having like rough days, going around in disguise and trying to figure things out, and coming here after and having a drink, and then doing that enough times that they're familiar with each other.
So she would have known you not as a noble that you are, right?
Yeah, and then now would know actual me. But yeah.
Well, outside of that, I have heard of a few things that might pose of interest to you, perhaps. I'm not sure as to their alignment with whatever it is you seek to know, with some sort of intention. But I have heard tell of a particular ghost. They are wary of what is coming and wants to secure the hoard of precious things that they've collected during their time on this mortal coil before they shuffled off. It's one of the unquiet, unrestful spirits that sometimes wander alongside us. Ha! I could point you in the direction and see if you could facilitate this.
Yes, I could do that.
And the other thing is, I have heard from a few little birds here and there a little bit about a particular collector who wants to steal a beautiful piece of art and replace it so that their private collection remains so without any suspicion. I wonder if I could perhaps send a whisper there to kind of direct you in the direction of that collector, allegedly.
Yeah, I think that's good too.
Okay. You would get so she passes you this information. You did not specify anything about the shortage of electroplasm. So you get these two bits of information that there are opportunities as far as a particular collector who wants to steal an original work of art and replace it with a forgery, and the other being that a ghost wants you to secure the rest of their precious collection of worldly things. Right? When we go into those, we will go into more detail, but those are the two things of information that you acquire. All right. As you spend your time chitting and chatting and having the old chin wag, is there anything else that you'd want to do, or would the camera pan away from Har?
I think after like information exchange, I would just have normal small talk.
Fair. Fair enough. It would be appreciated. Fair enough. The camera then pans away to one of the few who has yet to embark on this venture, gathering information. We pan to our resident spider. Summer, what is Sasha doing?
First of all, Sasha's player has to mute themselves. Sasha will stay behind a bit and is thus the last one to leave the painted mask, since they are starting writing some letters. And when they have like 2-3 letters written to specific people they think might know something about it, they go out on the streets, get to like a little wagon, a little stand where people sell tiny bits and pieces and flowers, little things that make you happy in a world without a sun, without warmth, and gives them some coin and looks for some of the street children who already know Summer, because Summer always just asks, bring this letter to somebody, and when you come back with the answer, Summer has something sweet for you.
So as soon as you kind of step out and seem to be on the look, a gaggle of them with baskets of different things run up to you, like, Cameron. Cobb, miss, it's you again. Hey, it's not a miss. He's a man, there he is. Does it matter? Shut up. Just let us get, it's got a job, all right? And they're all kind of clamoring, and there's a little few fights breaking out.
Don't worry about it. I can do and be anything you want me to. I have 3 letters. This one goes with the rose, this one goes with the lily, and this one goes to the friend with to our little friend with the furry companion. You know which one I mean.
And as soon as you say that, like the smallest one, she's a little cherub, with little, Princess Leia, have things of just a very garnet hair, and the most glittering baby blue eyes, and just like she just comes up like with her little basket. Can I do that one?
You want to go to my friend?
It's an ermine. It's really beautiful.
Wonderful. Then take this. And you know how it is. When you come back, I might have something for you. By
Glittering
the way,
eyes.
you all seem so desperately hungry. I got some rolls. I know it isn't much, but until we've got some more, that's all I can offer right now.
Thank you. Like hands kind of like accept all of this thing, and then it goes behind. And
But you gotta share.
of course, it's always share. And like you swear that, like, as she turns back, she gives the most saucy wink to the people behind, because all of the kids just have like a smirk on their faces. But like, yeah.
Very well. And I believe Sasha would actually meet up with their contact and would maybe ask Salia for a little talk. Aadi, is there something that someone knows that Salia really likes?
Salia is
Oh,
yeah.
Salia. Okay.
Oh fuck, dude! There are so many of you have common friends. Maybe we could have done, but no. Salia is, as you know, because, and you can thank Steve for this one. Salia is she's a muscle mommy. She is like she wears a suit and, like, full on the inner vest jacket and like, the bow tie and whatnot. But this woman is built, and yeah, she has that, like, faint lean cut, like, on one side, and just like, kind of going over, and a lot of piercings everywhere.
He
But
strikes me like a liquor person.
she's known to appreciate liquor. You would know that you would have definitely been one spotted. Like, she has a few flasks on her inner belt.
Mm, more like someone would try to get something nice for her, like as a little present. If she's more of a sweet person, maybe some peach liquor or something like that. I mean, we all know that the people who look the scariest are most often the most sweetest.
Uh, uh, you That would be a pretty good exact assessment of your friend Salia. Uh, you know that you've heard that there's a certain network of people that do the kind of things that your type of alternate lifestyle guru facilitates. But you know that Salia is an information broker, and as friends as you may be with them, they are, as most people in Duskwall, looking out for number one first, right? But yeah, I'd say given Summer's proclivities, there would have definitely been a lot of dalliance here and there on many different spheres. So I will leave that you as to the level of connection that you share with your friend Salia, the information broker. But yeah.
I believe Summer and Salia, they're not like best buddy friends, but like when you're in a room full of people you don't know, those are the two people who clock each other, get their drink, and stand together and have a little talk, like
Okay.
some kind of the person you always see every week in the theater. You know what I mean? Like your theater friends. They're
Yeah.
not like your real life friends, but like in this world.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Right. Where would you usually meet Salia? Would you have a spot that the two of you would have usually choose to meet?
Probably a place where summer sometime would not work, but that would be in their area of work, like a little parlor. You know what I mean?
Okay. Would I mean, so not given that it's not to do with work, it would not be in Silkshore then, you're saying?
It could be in Silkshore, but it would not like be somewhere Summer's seen working, more like
Yeah,
the bar next to it.
fair. I mean, I don't, so, I mean, from what I understand of Summer, you do not walk the streets like you're a caliber of tier other beyond, above that. So, I mean, for you to catch up in one of the, like, smoky, low lit parks of Silkshore, of which there are like a few. It's not as many as some of the other districts, but like you have a few. Uh, they are quite small and walled off, and there are. It's not exactly a sparklight lamp. You see, it's something like a bit of a radiance that seems to come from it, and it's a smaller kind of one, but it seems to actually grow some plants, actual plants, in small radiuses around them. So this is one of the few places that the denizens of Silkshore would have access to, like in an actual tree covered fucking park. But it does exist, and the creeping vines of the willows dance in the night. And you come to Salia just sitting, and one of the benches that you have so many of your conversations at, she is sitting legs crossed and just snoring with her hat on her face.
Hello, my darling.
Right, oh, oh, hello, love.
I've got something for you.
You always do. You always do. All right, let me get up. Let me get up first. Don't surprise a girl just like that.
Do you
You
want?
are. Hmm. Control yourself. And she will stand up and kind of stretch out her back in a very intentional and pointed way with a small. There's a smolder. There's a small, slow grin as she kind of looks down at you from her stretch. All right, enough flirting then. You said you have something for me. Go on. You know I judged you.
Me. And yeah, I had this wonderful little peach liquor that I thought you might like, but if you're judging me on it, maybe I should put it away because, daytime drinking, I don't know.
She will kind of just, you'd be at the bench, right? So she just kind of smirk, lean down with one hand on the bench and kind of lean down, like, face next to yours. I had a cool line that I wanted to say, but I forgot it as I leaned down and looked into your eyes.
You're terrible.
No, you can only have judgments for people you have expectations of, love. And you are one, I have one. No,
All
what
right.
is
Both
this
terrible.
just for the point of giving me pleasure with the form of this, what promises to be delicious peach liquor? Or is there something else that you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, I don't really leave my place unless there is something to talk about.
Hmm.
I'm getting so worried. Have you heard about the electroplasm shortage in the city?
The gab is going around, taking a lot of rounds in and out of the old alleys. Certainly, there's a lot of talk that's going on.
And a lot of my little flowers are so afraid of it. What happens if should the wall fall? What happens when the lights go out?
Thankfully, at least from what I've heard, that's going to be a long time in the future. The stocks and surpluses are meant primarily to ensure that the lightning bolts stay the fuck up the way they're supposed to, so that we don't all fall to the deathlands. That's not going to be a concern for a while. From what I've heard, it's at least the hubbub of around among the leviathan hunters is that their hunting grounds are getting barren, and they had to field further and further to try and find fresh hunting grounds to acquire more of the beasts.
I've heard something similar. And I know a fox that once was a hound, and they're also a bit worried about it. There are parts of the city, should the lights go out, there might be unrest.
Hmm. You're you talking about that survivalist friend of yours, the one who can eat anything. Fuck. Still surprises me the way she ate that mushroom. Did not think she'd take it and live.
I mean, who am I to judge people of what they put into their mouth?
No, that is true, love.
That was good. That was good, by the way.
That is true. Right. Well, enough of flirting. What do you want?
I have a few friends who are just worried that some of the surplus isn't used the way it's supposed to be used, and that others might use it to um gamble out parts of the city that don't have it as good.
Hmm.
And I have a soft heart from time to time.
My soft heart and other things that are soft and some things that are hard. I delectable. But I understand what you're trying to say. Hmm. So you're saying you want to redistribute as your so hard dictates.
Some people just think they can take more than they can actually take.
Hmm. And some people don't deserve it.
Oh, everybody deserves a little bit.
That's why you'll always be soft love.
Some
Sometimes you just got to cut the bastards.
Darling, if I stop being soft, who else is left?
You see the rather large, stocky muscle mommy kind of look at you, and there's a small little shiver as she steps back and like smoothens out her lapel. Where, let me see if I can find where some extra that might be undeserved is kept. I'll send word. Keep your eyes and ears open. Like in the good old days.
In the good old days. Also, I might, in case you are interested in that, I might know somebody who is good at bringing stuff from A to B and skipping C.
It's always a pleasure to interact with a spider who knows how to fucking act like a spider.
I mean, some people just want the D, but
That other one, loss, I had to tell you.
oh, tell me everything. Is it so terrible?
The he was making fun of the fact that no, I hope you understand that as a information broker, I was offered a price, and I gave a little bit of information that they might have come to know in their own time, but I told them, since I'd have control of the narrative, that a group of called the Veiled have been active, and your ambition points to certain things. The man started laughing at your name, thought it was very funny. His what he's known as.
Tell me.
Uh, she'll lead. She'll lead in and kind of. He calls himself Big Mob Daddy. And there's a giggling moment, like where, the big burly muscle mommy also just like,
Big Mob Daddy.
oh, I
Well, that's just a gift that keeps on giving.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to pay to have a seat at that conversation.
Did that person ask about us? Or was it just what's new?
It was he was more concerned with how your name was supposed to be quite funny. At least I don't know. I don't know if it was just him being sassy or him being smart and subterfuge and illusions. But if Big Mob Daddy is an idea of early, that's not.
As a question, Aadi, would Summer know Big Mob Daddy? Do I know that name?
I mean, you would have heard of that name. You would have because he is also a sex worker. So you've definitely heard of Big Mob Daddy. He has a reputation.
So you met a colleague of mine in more than one way.
That's a way to put it.
Oh, I see. I need to step up my game, not just liquor next time. And Summer kind of leans towards, do you want a kiss, love?
I know where that leads to, lass, and I have work to do. Yeah.
It would have been free. Don't worry.
She would kind of like smirk and lean down further and cup your chin. A kiss with you is the start of a road that just walks back on itself endlessly. And that requires time and effort, both which I would love to give, but sadly not tonight.
As you wish. But interesting that that's my reputation.
Reputation and memory both build towards that love. And she'll smirk and get up.
Aw, you think of me.
Don't get full of yourself. She'll starts pulling the jacket off and
No, that's your job.
tips the hat and smirks and laughs at that and walks off into the night.
Summer will stay for a bit, take in the tiny bit of light, and as soon as she's like way out of sight and then some, he will get back to the painted mask. Have the kids returned with my answers yet?
They would have gone to each of the names that you'd said. There were 3 names, right? Yeah, they would have gotten replies. You have to tell me about this at some point, by the way.
At some point. Then when the rest comes back, they find Summer where they left him, kind of sitting, chilling on the stage, flicking through letters. We've got fans.
All of you gather at the painted mask at this point. The 4 of you convene.
We haven't even done a heist yet.
Yeah, but we've got fans.
Like who?
That's good news.
I mean, fans is maybe a bit not quite the right word. We've got people who wanted to know about us.
Oh.
Sasha, don't set up expectations like that and then dash them.
Every advertisement is good advertisement. And I even got a name. Does anybody here know? And no, this is not a joke. A person, I can't even say it without laughing. A person with the name Big Mob Daddy.
Is that a sex thing?
Actually, yes.
Have you met Sasha?
I haven't. I just joined a little like a day
I'm
ago.
sitting in front of you, darling.
I have no idea what's going on. But anyways,
Oh dear.
Is that a sex thing? I mean, I don't know. I just don't
Yes.
know.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, it's a sex thing. Okay, I don't know.
That's the name of their spider. And the wonderful thing is that really made my day is that the person called Big Mob Daddy had something against the name The Veiled.
Okay.
I'll
No,
take that as a compliment.
No, I take offense to that because I take like if he's got something against the Veiled, Big Mob Daddy is a stupid name. Like
I mean,
like I'm sorry. In question of taste, I do not trust a word this person says.
I mean, as far as I remember, he dresses quite well. But yeah, it's another kind of flavor. It's a question of taste.
For all you know, somebody else does the dressing for him.
You think there's a big mob mommy?
Perchance. I hope she picked a better name.
Well, but yes, I have sent a few letters. We are not the only one looking into all of this. And my friends told me to be very careful because it seems like this could become quite dangerous. Also, just to check up the information, I know that there's a surplus somewhere in the city. Somebody else got the same information?
Yes, I've heard straight from the lion's mouth, so they say. The leviathan hunters have a little stash somewhere, but unfortunately, the city escapes. Did you take that note?
Okay.
Fable would have also come, and they had found out that the horde is not in White Crown. So
Okay.
the horde is not in White Crown is what she would convey from what she learned.
Next information. There is a shortage because the leviathans are leaving the hunting grounds. Can anybody else verify that information?
Yep, I saw it myself at the docks.
Great. Oh, at the docks. That is great. Yeah. Yep. I like this. And let me look and take a look into my letters again. A few friends of mine were really, really generous and nice. As far as I also heard, we should be a bit careful because people think it might be sketchy if we do things and not ask for money.
Why would that be more sketchy than other ways?
Why should a bunch of criminals work for free?
Are you good at negotiating?
Who says we're working for free? Not every currency is money.
You know that, I know that. Some people call themselves Big Mob Daddy.
I wouldn't mind some money too, so I think we should ask for money, but I'm not very good at negotiating.
I can tell that was a very blunt way to say, please give me money.
Yeah. Well, do you have any money? I would love some money. I got this really cool, as he takes out a sketch of a dragon, I got this really cool thing I want to do.
Oh, that's
a choice.
That's endearing as fuck.
Great. Well, it's a destiny, I feel.
I see.
I mean, have you ever? Do you know how to fly?
Yeah. See, when you make the angles of this specific attachment here, and you put a thin layer of fabric and flap it back and forth, that's how you fly.
That sounds like there's a great chance of failure and you might fall off something and die.
There's maybe a 80% chance of failure, but I'm trying to work on the schematic a little bit more, so then it can be 60%.
Wait, of failure?
Failure, yeah. I could fall and die and crack my neck, but that's life, baby.
It's a choice.
You do know that we have a rope machinery here in the theater that you can, secure yourself off, right?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
I can do some nuts and make your harness so you can try to fly, and if it doesn't work, you at least don't fall as far.
I mean, I actually had never flown before, so yeah, I might give it a shot.
So right now, this is all just theory.
It is all theory, but look at the numbers; they make sense, don't they?
Embardo, I'm curious. Does Embardo's face and general demeanor look like it's been through a lot of explosions, falls,
So what you notice specifically with Embardo is that he hasn't got any falls, but his face is burnt to burn marks, burn scars everywhere, and specifically because he's Chichirosi, he has these reptilian eyes that widen, and when you see the irises, they start to just widen as he mentions the word dragon.
I mean,
So, I mean, it might be a good test if you strap a harness on me and I swing or something like that.
I can do that, yeah, sure.
Okay.
How high is the pain tolerance?
What's a pain tolerance?
I mean it. How much? It's a question of how much rope I use.
You might have to test.
I mean, on a scale of like a pinch to a stab, or
yeah. Let's. If someone of my stature, a bit slim, a bit slender, gave you, slapped you across the face, would that hurt for you?
Let's try it.
And thus we start with the first clock of our game. The trading of Embardo, Lizard, and the ways in the ways of
Learning to fly. Learning to fly. Fuck.
I mean, what would I roll for? Give him a slap.
Skirmish
Yeah.
or wreck?
Okay.
Or finesse, like, hey, it depends on how you do it, right?
Yeah, I feel like finesse. Okay, so I'll just roll the 2 dice because I have 2 cross thingies in finesse, right?
Yeah. I will say the effect of this will be great.
I have no idea what that means, but I have a 3 and a 5, and you need to tell me what that does.
So you get a mixed success. You explain the intricacies of pain and its perception and its level of tolerance at different stages. You are fairly certain that Embado has a decent idea, but there is a fair amount of experimentation that is intrinsic to Embado's mindset and approach. You may have started a point of experimentation that might not be the best for Embado in his future, but that is what I will say.
Oh no, yeah, I gave him about
you're
the
a
idea.
masochist.
It might hurt, but it might be worth it. Fuck!
I mean, listen, no judgment.
Masochist clock.
I mean,
judgment.
if you want to explore it with someone, they know what they do.
Barrow has no idea what's this underworld of fetishes.
I can just see the math processing, like,
it's like,
And this is called a Somerville bowline.
that did hurt a bit. Maybe if you increase the torque of your arm or maybe your waist, it might do more impact.
I don't want to hurt you. That was just a question of how many layers of rope I would use. Because if you pain tolerance is high, I can go with like a single or true layers of rope. But if you say, ouch, that already hurt like a mother trucker, I would take 3 or 4.
What is a mother trucker?
To be honest, I don't really know. That's one of the words I think the kids use.
So I think I could do a rope.
Yeah, you've seen ropes before. You can use a rope.
I could do a rope of.
I think there might be some
flying?
experimentation required after the heist.
Yeah, no. We're gonna start with some groundwork before I make you fly. This was in fact interesting but terrible idea.
Alfred, as you regard this interaction happening before you, what's the first thing that comes to Alfred On's mind?
I think once they settle, I'll kind of walk up in like very cautiously because I'm like confused at what there's a book with a dragon in it, and then they started slapping each other, and I'm just like, it's like the casual like walk. I found some information at the tavern for my friend.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we got a bit carried away.
Yes, please share. Please bring us back on track.
And I'll explain about the collector and the ghost and say that they're potentially good leads, but they don't help us in terms of figuring out the electroplasm problem, but perhaps something we can endeavor in to collect funds or gather more resources.
Would you be willing to part with one of those information? Because I know that whatever the group of, we all know who I'm talking about. As far as I know, they're also interested on the electroplasm storyline. So maybe if we want to do this on our own, we could offer them. Hey, I've heard something else.
I think you were offered the name of this group, right, Alfred?
Yes, I thought, but I don't remember it.
The
The Duskvol Sparrows.
the Duskwall
Yes, that's their
Sparrows.
names.
It sounds like a sports team.
And the next ball goes to. But I like the sparrow part.
The sparrow part is nice. It's the way it's phrased.
So we are the pretentious, ambitious art kids, and they are the sports team.
That would track. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. The sports team has a spider.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Big
That's the
Mom
manager.
Daddy.
I can tell you what kind of sports team it is. It's pro wrestling.
But yes, Alfred steps up, and yeah, you were told of the collector. You were told about the restless ghost who wants his stuff secured. Yeah, those are two things that you could go into. It just depends on, like, you have to pick. And I mean, as a group of shadows, like, it is not above your thinking to kind of arrive at the fact that something that is tied to a very central part of the mechanism of how Duskwall operates might require a more than just an initial little scouting. This might be a bit of a long-term project, in fact. So we could, at this point, like, we could start a clock, and I'd say, it could be, let's make it a six parts clock. And as you do things to acquire and get to a part where you would be fully capable of taking on, like, the level of score and conflict that might necessarily stumbled on in the pursuit of something that is very high profile, we could do that. What do you guys think? Does that make sense, Senpai?
So do you want us to go to two different tracks? Is that what you're saying? And one is a clock?
I was, because I was trying to see how we could incorporate, like, clocks into the game. So I thought this could be an interesting way to get that, like,
Yeah. I think you. Well, one you have to decide as a GM. Do you want to make the clocks public, or do you want to make them secretive?
I'll have a few secretive ones, but this one will be a public one.
Yeah. So I think a public ones are good, and then, yeah, clocks are just tracking segments. So if you want these clocks to be tracked by either like a long-term project tick or essentially a mission tick, that just depends on, like, the length or in depth that you want to take this clock. I think clocks are generally pretty good, especially publicly, to like show suspense if something's like going to happen. So that's how I view them usually.
Fair. So I think we will start a 6-part clock right now, and you've gotten, like, you still haven't gotten the first tick on that clock, but it's been established. This could be, this might necessarily be a bit of a long-term project. The factions and the people you might encounter at this level, it's something that might lead to a very quick extinction of your group, because these are big players and big stakes. So this could be something that you could work up to as you level up and increase your capacity both as individual players and as a crew to get to a point where you could actually do this more justice or do it a little more effectively, But so I think we'll start a clock, and this could be accomplished in getting information, doing other scores and getting coin and spending that to get some upgrades, etc. So the clock could be filled in doing a number of these different things, which we will be brought up in role play. And so this is another so we I think we got a little more into the role play aspect of it right now, because I think it's important. Like in any Blades in the Dark game, the role play is a very central part of the progression of the story, right? Because the game master presents the world, presents the things, but it is character driven, and the choices that you guys make that make the story go forward. So I'm perfectly willing to go, hey, you haven't spoken in a bit, start talking now, or else. But it'll be, and as I think it happened in this session, people were talking on their own, which is great because that gives me some more time to just chill and go yes, my players are doing cool things. Plan. But yeah, that's great. So at this point, the four of you have come to this point of understanding of what are the options that lie in front of you. How would you like to proceed? Do you want to take a quick break before we go into the conclusion of the session? Or do we want to just power through? I wouldn't mind a small little break, actually.
Okay.
Yeah?
Works for me.
10 minutes? Cool. See you guys. See you folks in 10.
In 10.
Hello. Welcome back. And we have gotten to the end of the information gathering part of it. All of the members have come and contributed the information. They've processed it, and they kind of have a better idea of where they stand in regarding to a couple of matters. So I think at this point, after that couple of minutes of silence where each of you have kind of sat, wherever you are in the painted mask, after that few moments of silent contemplation, how would the moment progress further? What would be attempted?
I feel like this. I mean, I'm still waiting on a few answers, and of what we know, I feel like that going for the electroplasm right away would be not the smartest idea.
I agree. I think if we aim for the goal too directly, especially if we have a fan club, as you say, if we go too directly, we might just be giving ourselves away.
And I might talk maybe with our fans and see what they find out. Go Sparrows!
When you say talk, I'm never sure, Sasha, if it's an innuendo or not.
Oh, I strictly, I don't mix work and pleasure.
Fair enough.
I mean, sometimes my friends become friends in another way. But if you're asking if I'm sleeping with everybody, I see the answer is no.
That is not what I said. That is not what I said. It's just the way you phrased things that made me doubt.
I phrase them very, very normally.
You everyone could swear for that instant that they saw the illusion of an angelic halo around somebody, but that somebody also forgot who they were, and the world glitched in that moment. But yeah.
So,
It was the pause before talk that made me hesitate.
Well, what if we steal the raw stuff, the leviathan blood?
we
I kind
might
of know
be.
what that is.
We,
Apparently, what I heard, there's a surplus somewhere in Ragafurther.
what?
Ragafur? I don't know where that is really.
Rutherford.
Oh, Ragafur.
Sounds like a name.
Sorry, my notes were smudgy. I
Oh,
read it as-
no. Oh, we have a name. I love names.
Rutherford was the name.
Yeah, Ragafur. Don't know. It might be a rich people's place. Might not be. I'm not sure. I'm kind of new here. But they have leviathan blood, which I know is a precursor to electroplasm.
Yes, but the thing is, the electroplasm is more useful directly. The problem with the leviathan blood is that it is unrefined.
Oh, but I can figure it out. I can figure this out.
How to turn the blood into electroplasm?
Yeah. If they can do it, I can do it.
They have facilities that I don't know you have access to.
We can steal those facilities.
A single question. Would you figure it out the same way you figure out flying?
I wasn't going
Yeah.
to say it, but you went there, Sasha.
He takes out his book and shows you a very similar sketch about how to refine Leviathan, and then it says 60% chance of explosion.
When you try it, please don't do it while you're in here.
I have my own lab. It's okay. It's okay.
I will say definitely the learning of how to refine Leviathan blood into electroplasm, that could be a long-term project for Embargo, most definitely. What do you think?
For sure.
Right? I think that makes sense thematically for Embargo to want to know how to do that.
So it sounds like we've got a name. That's good. I can ask my friends about that name. And until then, I feel like we could. I mean, we can always use some money. Now, do we want to?
Sorry, quick point. Embargo, that is going to be a 12 clock for you.
That's great. Yeah. I'll accept that clock. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Do we want to pursue one of the other two jobs?
Sure.
So, what do we feel like? Do we want to steal a painting? Would we steal it or would we secure it? I'm not sure.
It sounds like we're stealing it for a person's personal collection, from the information I gathered.
No, we are repossessing it for the right person.
We're what's the word?
But to remind you, it wasn't just steal it. It was steal it and replicate it, forge it, so that
With forgery, I thought we were supposed to switch it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
so we need to get a forgery first. Anyone know any good forgers?
Not really, no. But I might know somebody who knows someone.
And also remind me, in your crew creation, did you end up using all of your crew coin, or do you have a coin left?
As far as I know, we used up all the coins.
You used up all the coin, right? So, yeah, it kind of becomes almost immediately apparent, that a good base to start off would just be the acquisition of coin. So that, that's always a good place to start off, generally speaking. But especially if you want to embark on something of the level of electroplasm and its shortage, could be advisable to put some investment into it. But yeah.
So, do we want to try to forge a painting, or do we want to try to find the stuff for the ghost? Both sound very complicated and out of our league, so I think it's just right for us.
And ghosts as an entity, they are something that you, as the part of not just the general but also the underworld populace of the Shattered Isles and Duskwall in particular, you know that they are a thing. Though the spirit wardens are charged to begin their purification and cremation rituals almost immediately, because it's generally known that it takes a period of almost 3 days max, if the corpse is left untreated, that a ghost will rise. So most ghosts are dealt with, but there are ways to keep ghosts there, and some ghosts that stay. Rumors you've heard of large resentments that kept them bound because something has not been satisfied.
It sounds like some people might be keeping the ghosts on purpose, though. Is that possible?
Eloquent shrug.
What else do we know about the ghost story?
It's,
Go ahead.
That it's a ghost story.
yeah. Well, there's that. But they're trying to deal with all their wealth before something happens.
Oh, we don't know what the something is.
Well, it has like finality to it from my memory that they won't be able to do it after this. So
I mean, wealth sounds good. Do you think you could maybe ask for some more information about these two wonderful tidbits of wisdom?
yeah,
That would be great. You can, and if they want something in return, I don't know who you're talking to. We can see what we can offer, because I know some people. Each of us knows some people, and we also know something about people who don't like us.
Mm-hmm. Understatement.
I mean, until now, the only thing I know is that the spider is not fond of our name. I'm not keen on
I'm not
being
fond of the spider's name, so.
and
tit
most
for
of all,
tat.
I'm not keen on being shit talked in front of my friends.
That's fair.
So, sounds like a plan.
Mhm.
All right. So, which do you think you'd want to pursue first as a score? Because that would kind of necessitates its own little information gathering for that very specific context, which could be done quite quickly. But which of those two options would you like to pursue?
I personally feel more like the ghost, because I feel like forging a painting will be a pain in the ass.
I agree. For crying out loud.
Uh, so then you would be pointed in the direction of the ghost. Uh, cool. I had a few thoughts when that was there, so I began to cook, and we shall get into that then at the start of your next session. since now the score has been identified, we will get into the information gathering, which now this affects a number of things. There is something called an engagement roll that the game master rolls to kind of set the tone for the first kind of venture. Because once the information is gathered, the actual occurrence of the score itself, it goes quite fast, because the only thing then is you have to, like, the as a GM, I would ask you what is the type of plan that your characters would have made. So there are certain options as far as that goes. They are there in the player kit. I will find out which page that is and I will mark that out. But there are the plans are very simple, because they are categorized as assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, transport. And they have a certain approach and they have a detail. The detail is the question that I will ask you about. And that is the thing that you can provide given the information that you've gathered. And the information gathered then will provide, say, additional bonuses or debuffs to the engagement role. And the engagement role is it's essentially a fortune roll, and it's the luck and how that comes into play as you start the thing. Because Blades in the Dark, it does not as soon as all the information is gathered, all of the planning and all is considered done, because the score states start up with the plan of assault and this detail, and we go straight into the heart of the moment in media res as we enter that moment and the consequences of the engagement role. And then we move forward from there, dependent on the situation. So, yeah. And the one of the essentially really cool parts about preparation in Blades in the Dark, because it works so differently, because in say a heist D&D game, so many hours would be spent planning for shit happens, and then when the dice start rolling, fucking plans go to shit, and everything is off the pants, off the seat of the pants, so how Blades in the Dark addresses that is in terms of flashbacks. So you there, in a situation, something is happening. Again, the GM will only present the situation and the causative, potential of that moment. And then you can do a number of things. You can do actions, you can go into flashbacks, and the flashbacks are just essentially you have seen this coming and you have done this to prepare for it. And there is a stress cost associated when you use a flashback, because stress is again one of the important dynamics of resource allocation and management that goes through in Blades in the Dark. You can use them to add to your roles in score and in downtime. But downtime is actually usually spent de-stressing, because that is the nature of the scoundrel life. Be all about that stress, all about that stress. But yeah. Any questions? I hope I was decently clear with that, actually.
I have a question for the group. Summer would, that's something Summer said, and that's something he would do. When we now choose the ghost job, he would offer the information of the other job as a trade token to get more information. Is that all right with everybody? Did that come through?
Wait, sorry, one more time?
Summer said that we take a job and that he can trade away the information about the other job as a trade token for more information on other parts.
Okay.
Is that something? Is it something you all okay with?
I have no issue with it.
So you're exchanging the painting information, or what information?
The
are you
paint
exchanging?
information, yeah, like
Yeah, I don't care about the painting.
okay,
Sounds too
Right.
complicated.
great.
This character does not care about paintings, except his own.
He draws his own. He draws his own stuff.
Yeah, but it's like crayon and
This is a
pencil would be
dragon.
great. This is as long as there's if there's a dragon painting, that's different. That's a different story.
I will say it is the most endearingly enthusiastic attempts at engineering drawing you have ever seen.
As long as it's not the equivalent of a Cybertruck to a car.
It's gonna kill the owl.
We'll see. We'll see. Play to find out.
Play
And
to
tune in
find
next
out.
week.
But yeah, all right. So, but
2 weeks?
this is in 2 weeks, yeah.
Stay.
But there is a certain point to consider now that, unfortunately, seeing as we have lost Mia May as our whisper, you no longer
shit.
have someone attuned to the arcane of this world.
Oh no.
Oh shit! Right, we can't even see the thing, right?
Oh no.
Mm.
But do we, as the group, know that our whisper's gone?
Can we multiclass?
At this moment,
mean,
we probably don't.
Yeah, I think I actually, I think, like, you would find out that you would have gotten a letter that would have come to you around this time as you are kind of gathering. It's by a courier, and the couriers to be like the message service, and they are usually extremely they hold that sacrosanct, like the mail is the mail, you do not fuck with people's mail kind of situation, and they are among the most neutral and facilitative factions that are present in Duskwall. No one can afford to fuck around too much with the couriers because they have the most efficient system of communication. Uh, So it is almost for certain and anonymous and untracked. All of that, it has been taken care of, but the letter does come and say from your whisper that they will be occupied otherwise.
Wait, we never met this person, right? Like technically
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
game, right? Hey,
yeah.
who's this?
Well,
Mhm.
still
I
it's
just
a
look
bit,
at the letter.
still it's a bit summering. Still, if we want to work with ghosts, we should have a whisperer.
I mean,
Ways.
there are ways to go about it. Like there are independent contractors that exist. You could look for a whisper who could you could hire to work with you, for you, however you kind of want to play it.
It's okay, guys. I have 1 point in attune. And
Me too.
yeah, woohoo! Yeah, let's do this. That's all we need, guys. We just need a tune. We just need a tune and push ourselves with the tune.
I can.
I have never seen a ghost in my life.
Yeah,
Have whatchamacallit. What is it called? Spirit Bane charm. I can get one of those as part of my item loadout too.
I have one of those.
yeah. The
Yeah.
spirit bane
Makes
is
the ghost avoid me.
yeah.
I think what's fun in Blaze of the Dark is that you can technically do a flashback, consort with a whisper, get them on your side, and then have the whisper there.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
technically like what you can do in the game.
Yeah.
Like you can have a whisper named Frank just show up, like
Yeah.
if you roll well, and be like, Frank, help us.
Flashback is a cheat code.
Yeah, it's literally your own Deus Ex Machina, right? It's very cool. I love it, actually. Fantastic system.
So if all else fails, we make up a person in a flashback.
Could do.
Could do. Okay, great. I know some people have to leave soon.
But yeah, if that's it, GG's. We shall start next session with the gathering of the information on dealing with the restless spirit who wants to consolidate his earthly riches together. All
Wants to
right.
consolidate his assets and not have too much interests on them.
Yeah, this rich person bullshit, like fucking. All right. Cheers, folks. Thank you, people of the internet. I'm sorry. I began the game and we didn't even go into introductions of the players, so I will not forget that on our outro at least. We will start with Lillith.
So I'm Lillith Wild. I play Loreline, and you can find me on Instagram as the Lillith Wild. I don't really play that much on Twitch, but on Blue Sky you can find me at Claire Ridgewood, writer name. Thank you so much.
Let's go, Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I am one of the hosts of a show, Melon and Mythos. It's really the only other thing than this that I'm doing currently. So you can find me there. That's me.
Let's go, Mr. Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam Yee. I play Imbardo Lizardin, the man who wants to become a dragon. And you can find me on Blue Sky specifically. I run a. If you're wondering why I know so much about Blades in the Dark, it's because I made my own system based off it called Interns in the Dark. So you can find me there, and feel free to follow me on Blue Sky.
Let's go. Yeah, I've really been meaning to catch that, and I will. Laura.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. I'm Laura, also known as the Bot with Many Names. You can find me basically everywhere on the internet as the Bot with Many Names. And I'm here every second Friday as Summer, the professional sex worker and trigger and spider of this group. You can find me every Tuesday on the Misadventurers League for our second season of Misadventurers with Magic, where I'm playing Felix Smith, the guitar playing, a cookie baking magic druid soft boy. And on every Thursday, you can find me on House of Dreams playing Dead at Heart, Vampires 5 campaign, the Empire Column, where I'm playing Foxy, the Gangrel Eagle.
Do the uvu. Do the. Thank you, Laura. And hello, people of the internet. I am Aadi MK. He, him. You can find me at Noonlight Creations on Instagram and on Twitch. I stream a homebrew D&D Calamity game. It's a long-term Calamity. They are a year away from the date. They know it's coming. As players, do their characters know? No. And that makes everything sweeter. So much sweeter. But that, and I somehow ended up running two Blades of the Dark games on Pantsless tables, where two groups of rascals and rapscallions plot and play in the dark, murky streets of Duskwall. You can find us here on alternate Tuesdays and Fridays, and I will also be on House of Dreams, where I'm going to be part of a Wander Home game, Season 2. I'm really looking forward to that. But that's it from me and the rest of us here at this Pantsless table. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Good night and happy time zone.